Hello everyone, welcome back to Econ Time. We are going to study unemployment and inflation. Are you ready? Let's go. This is part 1. In the United States, the government agency that computes unemployment rate and inflation rate is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They survey 60,000 households every month and computed these rates and then release these rates. So do you know what is the most current unemployment rate? What is the most current inflation rate? Okay, let's take a look. In case you want to see the most current unemployment rate and inflation rate, you can Google economy at a glance. And then you can check the at a glance table. So this BLS is Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is the government's agency. Now I usually click on this table. So here we are. You can find out the most current unemployment rate, which is 13.3% in May. In April, it was 14.7%. In case you want to find out, how about the previous months, you can actually click on this one, back data. This is the unemployment rate since year 2000. You can see that when the economy is normal, the unemployment rate is around 5%. Here, the unemployment rate is a little bit up, higher than 5% because of a recession. We have a short recession in here. And then in the Great Recession from 2007 to 2009, the unemployment rate goes all the way up to almost hit the 10% mark. After that, the economy recovers, so unemployment goes down. And then you all know why suddenly we have this high unemployment rate, right? We had a COVID-19. So because of the stay-home order, because most of the business actually forced to close, so we have a huge unemployment rate like this. Once the economy reopens, this unemployment rate should go down sharply. So the most current unemployment rate is 13.3%. How about inflation rate? We usually use consumer price index to indicate the inflation rate. These are the monthly inflation rate. So you can see that recently we happen to have a deflation. Gasoline price goes down, right? So that actually pulled the price level down a little bit. And then because we all stay home, so some of the products actually have to, put on sale. So price actually, in general goes down. But before then, it was like 0.2%, 0.1%. So overall, throughout a year, we don't know what is the yearly inflation rate yet. But when you take a look at this, probably it's zero inflation or a little bit below zero. So we might have a deflation. So the unemployment rate in May 2020 is 13.3%, and the inflation rate, well, for 2020 we don't know yet, but my estimation is around 0% or less. But it really depends on the following 6 months. Okay? Now let's take a look at unemployment. In order to calculate unemployment, we must have some definitions and concepts. The Bureau of Labor Statistics have their own definition, which is pretty strict. Some of them is not what we think, so we must be careful when we study this, okay? Now, first concept is called adult population. People who are 16 years of age or older are counted into adult population. Usually in our daily life, we say working age. So that is the age, 16 years of age, okay, or older. The second concept is employed. So who are qualified as employed? All of the workers who work full-time. Working part-time, is that employed? Yes, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says yes. How about family workers? What do you mean by family workers? Well, these family workers work for their family business, 15 hours or longer per week, with pay or without pay. So with the pay, sounds like, yeah, it has a job, right? Without pay also counts as employed. Yes, the Bureau of Labor Statistics do that. For example, if a 16-year-old high school student help with the family restaurant, as long as the work is 15 hours or longer per week, even though the family do not pay this high school student, they still count him or count her as the employed. Okay. Also, people who are temporarily absent from a job also count as employed. So, for example, people who take a sick leave, because a job position is still safe for them after they finish their sick leave. So they will go back to that position, right? So for those people, even though they are not working, but they have the job waiting for them to come back. So also, this must be by contract. You sign the contract with the employer, and then they make sure that you will come. I mean, the job is waiting for you to come back. So that is employed. Next, who counts as unemployed? A person who has no job but is willing to work. Now, usually in our daily life, whoever doesn't have a job counts as unemployed, isn't it? I mean, we said, oh, I'm unemployed. Yeah, I don't have a job, right? The Bureau of Labor Statistics has a more strict definition. As long as this person doesn't have a job but is willing to work, that counts as unemployed. Now, willing to work must show effort to looking for jobs or some efforts. You can't just say, I am willing to work, but there is no job over there, so I didn't do anything. Well, no, that is not going to be counted as unemployed. Now, this is an example. People who are actively looking for jobs, well, they're looking for a job because they don't have one, right? In the past 4 weeks, that is in the last month, then they will be counted as unemployed. The second example is temporary layoff workers. They are waiting to be recalled to work. So for these workers, even though they are not looking for another job, but because either the factory or the company said that if we reopen, we are going to call you back, they're waiting, to be recalled. So it shows that they are willing to work, but right now they don't have work to do. Now, this one is very easy to be confused with the one that counts as employed up over here, temporarily absent from a job. The difference between the two is that this one, temporarily absent from a job, they still have the job position. They have signed a contract. They just don't work for a very short period of time. But down here, they have already been laid off. This one, lay off, meaning that the firm, has done. They don't have a contract. They are not guaranteed to have a work. but they say it. They say it that I might call you back if I have work. So they are waiting to be recalled. So this counts as unemployed because the job position is not there anymore. Okay. Example number 3 is waiting to report to a new job next month. Well, most of us don't think that this is a unemployed, right? However, think about this. Waiting to report to a new job means that this person at this moment doesn't have work, no job, right? And this person is willing to work. That's why he or she found a new job and will start working next month. So at this month, he doesn't have a job. He shows a willingness to work. So because of that, the Bureau of Labor Statistics count that as the unemployed. So there is a group of people who are not working, they don't have a job, and they are not looking for works. So they are not willing to work at this moment. Those will be counted under not in the labor force. For example, people who are retired already, they don't have a job, they're not willing to work anymore, right? Students who want to concentrate, focus their effort on studying, they are not working, so they are not in the labor force. Homemakers are people who stay home, work at home. They don't work for any company. They are not self-employed. So those are not in the labor force. Therefore, labor force counts everyone, all of the workers, all of the people who are willing to work. So labor force must equals to number of employed plus the number of unemployed. Because if you are employed, you're willing to work. If you're unemployed, you're willing to work, just hasn't found a job yet, right? Unemployment rate is using this formula, number of unemployed divided by the labor force multiplied by 100%. That is how the unemployment rate has been calculated. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also calculate labor force participation rate. So among the adult population, how many people are willing to work? And that is the labor force participation rate. This is the labor force participation rate. In the past decade, our labor force participation rate has been around 63 to 65. Currently, due to coronavirus, it drops down to almost 60%. But I believe that once the pandemic have gone, probably it will go back up to 63%. Due to the way the Bureau of Labor Statistics calculate their unemployment rate, they have been criticized that they underestimate the unemployment rate. So because of that, they actually calculate all 6 the unemployment rate. And for some of the marginal unemployed, actually that rate happens to be 21.2%. What we are using is 13.3%, which is U3. This is what we are using. But you can take a look at all of these different rates. Just type alternative measure of labor utilization. You should be able to find all these unemployment rate. Okay, I'm going to stop here for this part. I'll see you in the next part. Bye.